Welcome to Pets in Paradise TV, the show that explores the relationship between humans and animals in one of the most beautiful places on Earth, Hawaii. In this episode, we'll witness the miracle of life as we follow Abby, a Labrador Retriever, from conception to birth. It was an exciting adventure from sonograms to an emergency C-section. We watch as Abby's family fights for survival. Plus, 6 months later, we'll follow Indy, one of Abby's puppies, as he learns the ins and outs of being a service dog. We'll see how he can improve one man's quality of life and give him something to live for. Pets in Paradise TV starts now. This is the story about no ordinary dog.
Come here, Abby.
Her name is Abby, and she was trained to be a champion show dog. But in this segment, we see her put through the true test, a test of love, instinct, and survival. Nikki and Abby grew up together. Nikki had a big hand in training Abby since she was just a puppy. And as she grew to win dog shows, they collected a lot of ribbons and medals along the way. But there was only one real prize that Nikki had her eye on.
My mom and dad promised me that if she becomes a champion and she's really good and everything, that we can breed her and we can get puppies from her because she'd have such great little puppies.
Well, Nikki got what she wished for. Abby became a champion, and her parents kept their promise.
This is the first time that we have, as a family, decided to breed a dog. And so we wanted to be sure that the breeding that we were doing was going to produce healthy puppies with good temperaments.
Healthy puppies meant a thorough examination for Abby. And since Abby's parents, Mark and Marie, were both veterinarians, they knew exactly where to go to get her hips and eyes checked, have DNA testing, and have an ultrasound on her heart.
When Abby tested healthy, we said, okay, we're going to go ahead and breed her.
It only took a few days to find Abby a father for her new family. Meet Saba. He's a handsome Labrador Retriever who's about to change Abby's life forever.
So today's the big day. Abby's in heat, and we have brought Saba over to meet her and get to know her. And hopefully they're going to breed, and we're going to have some puppies.
Blind dates can be challenging, but the timing is just right.
Saba's behind the door here, and we're going to give it a try. Here he is. And Saba's ready. And they're going to get to know each other a little bit.
Saba here really likes Abby, you can tell. He's willing to go in the pool for her.
They hit it off right away, and the magic happened.
Okay, so now we're gonna take Saba home. We've had a very good and productive day. We start the waiting game now to see what happens and see if Abby does become pregnant.
It's been 4 weeks since their romantic date, and everyone is wondering if Abby is expecting.
We're here to find out if my puppy Abby is going to have puppies. And we're at my dad's office. I can't wait to see if she's got babies.
Right, so we're gonna roll her over.
Now they're getting their first peek in Abby to see if their family will be growing soon.
So there's a puppy right there, you guys. Hooray! At this stage, it's a little puppy blob in the center, like right here. See the little puppy
At
in
4
there?
weeks, the fetuses start to develop their spines, eyes,
what?
and faces.
Pregnant or not?
Yes, pregnant.
How many?
6.
They counted up to 6 puppies, but at this stage, the fetuses are the size of a kidney bean. They'll have to do another ultrasound at 7 weeks to be sure.
Remember when I thought babies came from your tummy? Because that's what got big, your tummy.
No, right, but you know better now. That's for sure.
Sadly.
It's week 7. Abby's puppies have grown another 21 days. And now the waiting game continues.
Wait, do we get to tell if they're boy or girls as soon as they're born?
Oh yeah, Yeah.
As Abby's pregnancy grows, so does Nikki's curiosity.
In their embryonic sac.
They're in their sac, yep, they're born, and then she should clean them up, and she eats them.
No! Oh, that's the gross part.
While Nikki learns more than she wanted to about the facts of life, they're getting ready to take Abby for a 7-week checkup to make sure all is going as planned inside her.
Now we're getting ready to do another ultrasound to see how many puppies, because first my dad thought there were 6, but we can't totally be sure because it's kind of hard to see them because they're just little dots.
At this point, the fetuses should have toes, claws, whiskers, a tail, and actually look like a puppy.
So this is the head, and then we're going to follow the neck up, and so then that's a body.
And now it's time to count the puppies.
And 2, and 3, and 4, and then this is number 5, and that's number 6 underneath them. And I think I can make a 7. Yes, I can. All right, let's go for 7. 7.
Excitement filled the air as Nikki found out about lucky number 7.
But look, you can see little paws.
You're right. Look at that. There's 7.
The average gestational period for dogs is about 9 weeks, so they're not far from meeting the new puppies.
So Nikki's really come a long way in this journey, and we're very proud of how she has trained Abby and what she's done with Abby. And this is going to be another challenge and another step to show that she's responsible and that she can handle what's about to come upon us.
Probably, most likely gonna be 7. Let's hope they're 7. And if they're 7, I'm going to hide another one. My mother will not find it until it's big enough to run around.
Up next, Abby's big day arrives. But sometimes the journey doesn't always go as expected. A hard fact of life for both Nikki and Abby. If your dog isn't spayed and unbeknownst to you has had a night on the town, she may be pregnant. You might suspect something, but how can you be sure? If you think your pooch may be pregnant, there are some signs to look for. She may not be eating normally. She may be off her food and just not interested. If this is her first pregnancy, her nipples will swell dramatically. Her disposition may change. She may act insecure or want more attention. She might be less energetic and not interested in playing the way she normally does. Of course, the most obvious indication that your dog is pregnant is that she'll start showing. And the last way to find out if your dog is pregnant, believe it or not, you can buy a canine pregnancy test. Abby's been pregnant for 8 weeks, and today's the day.
At about 4:30, Abby started having some contractions, a little bit of bleeding, so we started watching her, and at 5:15, she delivered her first puppy, and unfortunately, that puppy was dead, was stillborn.
What happened was she just wasn't able to push that puppy out, and it stayed within the uterus too long and couldn't breathe.
When I heard the puppy was dead, I wasn't very happy about that because one, it's a puppy, no one likes seeing dead puppies. 2, it was Abby, and I was scared the other puppies were going to be dead too.
We're just concerned that she's got a little bit of uterine inertia, which means that her uterus muscle isn't contracting enough to help her push along the labor. It's been about an hour since her last puppy, and she just really hasn't done a whole lot. So, and her contractions for that first puppy were kind of weak, so we want to keep her moving a bit. We're going to give her a little oxytocin.
Oxytocin is a hormone that helps stimulate the uterus to contract.
I think you need to be clear that once you start down that path and you give the oxytocin, then you have to be prepared to do a C-section because you're going to separate the placentas now. We're going to separate, and she's either going to push the puppies out or we're going to go in and do a C-section. You have to think about her and you have to think about the puppies. So it's that fine line between, obviously you want live puppies. You also want to end up with a live mom. She's having contractions.
Abby starts to have another contraction, and the fate of puppy number 2 is in Mom's hands.
You're brave, Mom, to do that.
There we go.
Is it out?
Almost.
Is it alive?
Yeah, there sure is.
Everyone let out a sigh of relief as puppy number 2 made it out alive. Puppies are born surrounded by the placenta sac. Abby opens the sac by eating it. The membrane contains a hormone that encourages her to lactate.
Oh, it barked. That's cute.
Abby will continue to lick her newborn to stimulate breathing. It's been 30 minutes since last puppy, and 30 to 45 minutes since the last oxytocin. So they gave her another shot to help her push a little harder.
My dad gave her a shot of that stuff to help her like a while ago. Nothing's happening and I'm kind of scared about that.
Definitely, natural birth is always better than a C-section. A C-section is surgery, and with surgery there are risks. We want her to have these puppies naturally if she can.
Mama, she's pushing. This isn't going as good as that one went.
No, it's not, is it?
No, Mom, it's not. Well, I don't want another dead puppy.
No, none of us do.
One more time. One more time, Abby, come on.
Despite their efforts to help Abby, puppy number 3 doesn't make it.
Is it dead, Barbara?
So it doesn't look like this one is alive. So we're gonna go ahead and take Abby in, and I think we're gonna go ahead and do a C-section and see if we can save any of the other puppies.
With 4 more puppies inside Abby, they didn't want to take any chances. It's time to head to the hospital for an emergency C-section.
All right, so we're gonna load her up. What? Yes, you can bring the puppy.
Studies show that 20 to 30% of puppies do not survive the birthing process. And a C-section is usually the last resort. Mark is preparing Abby for the major surgery, and time is of the essence.
So the day is not going as planned. At this point, we're just trying to do what we can do.
The medical team is working fast, and the little sounds of life are filling the room.
I said he's got a heartbeat, and that's a good sign. Here you go, Nick.
While they're setting puppy number 4 in the incubator, the team is working on getting the other 3 out. Each puppy is carefully pulled out of Abby's womb by hand. The nurses are swinging the puppies back and forth to get the amniotic fluid out so they can start breathing on their own. It's time for the last puppy to be born, but it's not showing any movement.
This one's just not breathing. Let me just see if I can get him. And she's a little smaller than the rest, and so she's got a heartbeat, but she's not breathing, and her heart is actually not, it's not beating that fast.
They're trying to stimulate her just as her mom would after a natural delivery. The puppy is also fighting the effects of anesthesia.
She's squeaking.
Keep going. That was a loud yell.
Yeah, there she goes.
Yay.
It was a long, tense journey, but Abby and the family are bringing home 5 healthy puppies.
This is a girl.
Stay tuned to get a preview of the puppies and find out the big plans for the runt of the litter. What's the difference in the length of a pregnancy between a big dog, say a Great Dane, and a little dog like a Chihuahua? Surprisingly, the gestation period for most dogs, regardless of size, is between 58 and 64 days, with the average being 63. The length of a pregnancy is most likely determined by the size of the litter, not by the size of the dog. It's good to know the date because premature puppies don't often make it. Those born before day 58 are usually stillborn or die within a few days. If you're breeding on purpose, you'll know the date of conception, or very close to it. If you don't know, make an educated guess. Count 63 days, and you'll have a good idea of when the big day is coming, whether she's a diminutive Chihuahua or a mighty Great Dane. And now, more Pets in Paradise TV. Early in the show, we witnessed Abby giving birth, but things went from bad to worse, and she had to have an emergency C-section. At this point, things weren't looking good for Indy, the last puppy out.
This one's just not breathing. Let me just see if I can get him.
But Indy didn't give up. He had a bigger calling:
She's squeaking.
to give someone else a second chance at life. Here are Abby's puppies at just 5 weeks old. While they were all enjoying carefree lives, Indy was chosen to go to Hawaii Fido Foundation, which is a service animal organization. He had his work cut out for him. 6 months later, we met up with Indy on one of his training exercises.
Training the potential service dogs to get the phone off the holder is the first step in training a phone retrieve for people who have limited use or can't get out of the wheelchair.
This is called target training. First, we start with the dog by just touching something like a plastic lid, and when they do it, touch, yes. They're supposed to bump it with their nose, and that earns them the reward, so they know that what they did was right. The next part of the training is getting them to do it hard enough so that we can get maybe pushing a button out of a soda machine to get our can of soda. When he hits this, he's going to hear a noise to let him know that he did it hard enough. Touch. Yes, good boy.
The button pushing skill is really important to help people, especially in wheelchairs, who don't have the arm reach. And we can use this skill as the handicap opening door.
At barely 6 months old, his constant and consistent training is paying off. He's now working on how to retrieve items off a shelf.
Indy, pass that.
To take it to the next step, the handler is bringing him into a new environment
Bring it.
to put his skills to the test.
This is a dog that's barely 6 months old, and he's been having constant and consistent training for the last 2 months, and this is how it pays off.
Get it. Bring it.
Indy had perfected his skills and was now ready to be placed in a new home. This is Mike, a vet who was diagnosed with Alzheimer's and was suffering from depression. He was beginning to lose hope.
My life was not really a living life. You know, I was more of like a plant. I didn't have anything to do.
So being alone was a problem. He would have blackout type of spells, which are part of the seizure relations. Well, he'll just black out and pass out.
I'd become more depressed and think about how much time I'd have left with my family.
Before Indy came along, Mike volunteered at Animal Care Foundation, where he was welcomed by 50 furry friends every day that looked forward to his visits.
There was a bond that was built there immediately, and it helped me to feel better, because now I had something to do each day. So that's when the light came on that I needed more in my life. And, you know, my family's great. They take care of me. They watch out for me. But there's something about cats that it inspired it and turned it into this relationship that I have with Indy right now.
But Indy was a friend that could give back in a big way.
Can you get my shoes? Get the shoes.
Yeah, Mike's quality of life has improved greatly with Indy here with him. He's much happier. I think his depression is a lot better.
Thank you.
With simple commands, Indy could help Mike get through everyday tasks that were once very difficult for Mike to do alone.
Indy is trained to know where home is, so if Mike says, Indy, let's go home, Indy can help him get back here.
With the additional responsibility meant more freedom as well.
They've done research showing how pets increase your quality of life and lifespan for people, but it's amazing that they can train them to do so much more.
Indy has given Mike the ability to be more mobile, and together they've established a new daily routine.
My alarm goes off, he gets the medicine for me. He can go over and tug on the refrigerator. He'll get my water for me, so I can take my medicine. Thank you. And he likes to pick up dirty clothes. And he'll take them to the basket. We have a laundry basket in the bedroom. If I'm laying on the floor, he lays beside me and keeps his head on me like he's listening for something. So he's truly an amazing dog. Can you put it back? Huh? Put it back. Indy is a, put it back where it goes, motivator. Put it in there. A partner, a worker.
And a friend. A friend who ultimately saved Mike's life.
You know, he likes to play like a normal dog. He has his playtime. He loves to go to the park and play with the dogs there like a normal dog. But when it's time to come home and he puts his vest on, then he knows where we go. He can pick our car out in the parking lot. I mean, it's amazing what these dogs can do and what they can bring into a life.
From the runt of a litter fighting for his life to helping someone else fight for their life, Indy is truly an extraordinary dog.